What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Clocks Running, the podcast for everything flag football officials. I'm your host, Ant, and I'm being demure or mindful or whatever everybody's saying on TikTok these days. But I'm so excited for tonight's show. We are doing something just completely different, crazy, trying it out, see how it goes. So let me bring on the guests in no particular order. We got new dynasties, brand new QB1. What up, Jacob?
What up?
Going
I'm
on?
ready
Yeah,
for
I
it,
heard
man.
they. You ready for what?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Hit me with it.
Oh, I just heard. I heard they benched. I heard they benched Ant, and they want you in on QB1. They need you for San
Hey,
Diego.
hey, it's the director's time. The director of trash is time to shine, baby. Let's rock and roll.
Did you ever play quarterback? Is that your position?
Hey, I played Madden twice, man. It's cool. I got it down. I played on all Madden 3 games. It's cool. I didn't lose any games once I turned it back to rookie. But hey, we're not going to talk about that. All right. We're going to talk about what we're
Okay.
going to get done in 5 man and sixes. It's going to be no problem. When I got DK in front of me, the world is my canvas.
The world is your canvas. Is that a North Carolina saying?
Hey man, it is now. Just had to light my candle to say it, man.
There you go. All right. Now let's bring on the defender of all Dollar General employees, Petty Pat. What up, man?
What's good, bud? Hey, you know your boy here on the ones and twos, ready to shake up the damn scene. Hey, Shaggy Beard Pat, back on the scene. Ain't shit changed except the hair.
There we go. There we go. Let me move things around here a little bit. Okay, so we're doing things a little different tonight. We got a little debate going. We got Jacob. We got Pat. So I just want to get right into it. We got some exciting topics to discuss, but to decide who gets to go first, I've got a coin. All right.
Of course.
So, Jacob, it is going to be your call. This is heads. That's tails. What do you
Uh,
got?
tails never fails, baby.
There you go. And it is tails. Okay. So the first topic we're going to bring up is about the location of worlds. So, Jacob, do you want to go first or second?
Oh, I'm going first. Let's go right in.
Let's go.
All right. So
Okay.
it's simple. I've been traveling a little bit. I've been to worlds at 3 different spots. I've been to Austin, Tisdale. I've been to Panama City Beach, and I've been to Tampa. Tampa's the best, no questions asked. All the fields are together. Everything's right together. We're able to do things all at once. After hours, things are all open. You're actually in the city that you say you're in. We're not having tournaments in Orlando where Pat's going to say that we need to go. He can live there. That's fine. Whatever he wants to go to, 6 different parks, have to be all spread out 4 different hours. That's cool. But guess what? In Tampa, you've got everything in one spot. You've got the vendor village, which is second to none. You've got everything you need. It's perfect. What more could you ask for?
Wow. Okay, Pat, he threw a lot of stuff, a lot of shade at you. What do you got?
Well, hey, when it comes to shade, I bring sunlight to all this
You bring a
bullshit
tear
we
a little
talking.
tiny hat. That's
Hey,
what you bring.
hey, no, hey, first it's a
Dude,
shirt,
that came from
now
Baby.
it's a tiny hat.
Look, you got
It's
a tiny
okay. Hey, but
shirt
hey,
to
you
match your
had your
tiny
time.
hat.
You
Go ahead.
had
Go
your
ahead.
time,
You're
Brett
right. You're
Hitman
right. Go
Hart. Let
ahead.
me have my time,
Go
Brett
ahead.
Hitman Hart. But I feel like I was set up on this question because we weren't talking about worlds. We were talking about nationals, which nationals is a small
Worlds.
tournament. But worlds, of course, I can't agree with you because at this time, Tampa has been the best. The last time it was the best in Orlando was when we had the brawl for it all, and it was a real brawl for it all. But that's where it started with me. So that's why I always say Orlando would always be my home from when I got introduced to the game back in 2012. Even though I've been to Panama, even though I've been to Tampa, even though I've been to the Chicago and all these other locations, but World Tampa, yeah, I give them the nudge because they have advanced it since the beginning of the first Tampa. But Orlando will always be home because you have everything there. You got Disney World, you got
There we
SeaWorld,
go.
you got Universal Studios. Hell, you
Let me
got
stop you
people
before you
close to
when
I
you list
ninety
all
five.
these
They can go
parks.
home in
Now
two
I am
days.
going to interrupt you. Are you going down there to ride rides and roller coasters, or are you going to play flag? What are you
Hey,
doing?
so Hey, you might be down there since you knew Dynasty quarterback. Hey, 3 and out, goddamn, and going home, going to Disney World or Universal
We
Studios.
ain't going to
How
Disney,
about that?
Mr. 03 and Mr. Barbecue, I know you ain't talking.
Hey, but you the new Dynasty quarterback. I know you ain't in. You ain't gonna take him to the promised land.
Hey,
He
that's
might not
fine.
bring it home.
I'm just coming to get everybody warmed up, let them see something fake. Then we throw in the real talent.
That's fine. You down 21. That's all that matters to me. But hey, just be prepared to go to Disney World. That's all that matters.
Ain't nobody
Get your
going to your
funds
house.
up. $85 a ticket.
All right. All right. Okay. So it sounds like, Jacob, you're saying Tampa is the best location. Pat, I guess you said Orlando is just you got a connection to there or whatever, and there's cool things to do. Me personally, even though I showed up to Nationals in Chicago and we went 1-19 as a team, I still wasn't going there to check out Chicago. Okay, I was going there to play football, and that's what I was there for. So I spent most of my time at the football field and at the lame Airbnb that we found. Now, to me, to me, I'm gonna say, in my experiences, both locations are cool, but when it all comes down to it, when you want to talk about the best location and the best tournament, it is absolutely Worlds. And I think that everything that is on the field and what it offers, I don't care about anyone else saying that they got a world championship or a national championship or anything like that, because Worlds in Tampa is where it's at. That's where you get the most competition. That's where you get teams from all over the world. That's where you get all the best refs. You got, just like you said, Jacob. You got the vendors. You got the stage. Okay, I don't want to hear about the little cardboard setup that they're going to have in Orlando this year. I don't want to hear about that. Okay.
I understand. Hey, but we ain't talking about another organization. We talking about USA flag in
That's
this
right.
league.
That's
So
right.
hey, we
Okay.
don't care
All
what
right.
we don't care if they got cardboard, aluminum, steel, whatever they have. Hey, let them stay their ass down there in Orlando. Hey, we know what we're gonna be at as far as for Worlds in Tampa. But when it comes down to Orlando for USA Flag, aka Battle, aka FFWCT, that's where it started. So we gonna leave it to Chuck and Travis and tell them, hey, where you started at. We know where the home is the best, but hey, what you do, you grow. You never stay the same height unless
Did
you
the
There you go.
did the
unless you
founding
certain people.
fathers say that 1776 was the best year? No, they said the year that they won the Revolutionary War was the best. Come on, man, you got to move, be progressive.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, all right. So I gotta ask this though, Jacob, just to change the question a little bit. Out
All
of
right.
all the locations that Nationals has been at, what has been your favorite one?
Okay, so let's make sure we're on the same page here. We're talking
Yep.
Vegas, we're talking Nashville, we're talking Chicago. Um, talking those
You
three,
had
correct?
Texas.
That's
You had Texas as
oh yeah,
well.
Arlington as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
Okay, so my favorite of those. Overall, I'm gonna say Vegas. Vegas was my favorite, man. It was a fun
Cool.
tournament. It was, as scorching hot as it was, we still had a good time. We had great competition, great teams, had great play overall. If we look, you look at the different formats and how everything did, it was, it still was a great tournament. So my favorite of those would still be Las Vegas.
The only roster check in a pro division that we can remember, right?
Did happen in
Still
Vegas.
talked about to this day.
To this day.
All right, Pat. How about you? In those four locations, what was your favorite?
I can't agree with him, but I mean, he might be on to something.
I'm not dumb,
But
duh.
I mean, I would say Vegas is the best as far as, like you said, it's like Orlando. It got all the adventurers, all the stuff on the outside. But we didn't go to Vegas to play to go to all those things. We came to play football. But I'm gonna go with Chicago because that's where I won my national championship at. Damn Vegas, I got cheated in Vegas. So
Here we go.
I don't care about Vegas.
Cheated.
But
My
Vegas
team
was hot.
great. Blah 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 blah.
But my
Chicago,
team
I
was
played
great.
3 teams to win my championship. Yeah. It was in
Hey,
Anything else?
Hey, hey! I just got one question. I just got one question, Pat. What division did you win that championship in
It
Chicago?
wasn't pro.
It was Con and Pro
It
combined.
wasn't pro.
No, it wasn't.
Pro wasn't there, was they?
Yes,
It
they
was
were.
combined.
Bob Up won
Yes,
pro.
because my team was in pro and we went 0-3. So,
Well,
Bob
guess
Up
what?
won pro.
Well, guess what? We won. I don't
Chicken
give a
butt.
damn what it was. Hey, but I end up with but guess what? I won a world championship in
Hey,
Orlando that same year.
that's one of the dopest rings I have from that tournament, though, for you guys with Legion, though. So
there
much
you go.
appreciated.
All right, cool. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, so Pat, you get to go first on this one. All right. So who should be in the 2028 Olympics? We're going to LA. We know flag football is going to be there. We're talking about the men's team. Who should be on the men's team? Should it be NFL players or should it be the current flag players that it is right now?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. They had their time. Damn them damn flag players. Let the NFL players do it. We want to sell tickets. We want to promote the game. You know what I'm saying? If they was good enough, they had to be in the NFL. Then they can make the NFL team to make the damn Olympics. How about that? That's how I feel about it. Although has
Hey.
been one of them. I'm one of them. Guess what? I play it for a recreation game. I've been playing this since I was a kid. And yes, it's enjoyable. We've been putting our paws, getting it out the mud. I understand. They really want to represent. But half of everybody on this damn team is gonna be old, just like the damn the NBA players that's upcoming now. You think we're gonna win the Olympics in 2028 without LeBron, without Steph? Hell no. So guess what? You think we're gonna win without the NFL players in 2028? With all those good players coming out of these other countries, China and all these other locations. What Korea? They the one who started the dip move. We're gonna look like a whole bunch of 5'3" guys out there dipping, playing flag football their whole life. They ain't never played in the NFL. They got this game down pat. So why we gonna put some flag players out there that ain't gonna sell tickets, gonna make us look bad? And you know what I'm saying? No, I appreciate them. I think, hey, I love them all death, and I probably see some of them soon. But hey, if they got a beef with me or some beef, come talk to me. I don't duck no smoke.
Yeah, okay. Hey, simple and sweet. Jacob, what do you got?
First of all, I need you to loosen a couple of those buttons on that hat so you can start thinking straight. Because there's no way you're worried about ticket sales at the Olympics. The Olympics will sell itself. Everything will be where it needs to be. People will still show up. People go watch handball. They go watch ping pong. They watch water aerobics or whatever it's called. They watch everything because it's the Olympics. Ticket sales are not the issue here. Okay? Look at baseball when baseball was played in the Olympics. How many pros played? Not very many. Why? Because they were in the middle of the season. So, again, NFL is going to be going into training camp. Yeah, they've said they're going to accommodate or whatever, but you can't tell me if Joe Burrow steps out there and rolls his ankle that they're not going to go, yep, and yank him right off the field, and then we're going to be stuck with they grab somebody from Section 438 who's even worse than Hoosh or any of those other guys who are more than qualified to be there. In 2028, are they going to be old or too old, or is there going to be somebody younger who could possibly be better? Maybe. We don't know. That would be incredibly ignorant for us to act like they're not. But there's no reason why we don't go ahead and have just flag players. Sure, you can sprinkle in a Tyreek Hill or somebody like that of that caliber, somebody who would be easy to show, hey, this is the routes we run. This is what you have to do. You can't put your hands on somebody. Maybe a defender, not Micah Parsons. You don't want his big goofy ass out there. That makes no sense whatsoever. He's going to get turned around worse than Pat would in pro.
Lies.
But
Lies.
but to my point, you can add a few people that it makes sense to go ahead and give some notoriety to the team, just like they do in baseball. Baseball has, like, they have the Mike Trouts, the couple others that are good, but you don't need a whole team of NFL players. That makes zero sense to me. Go ahead, use the flag players who have carried it. Don't let it be a situation where Hoosh crawls so Patrick Mahomes can walk. Let it be a crawl to walk. Let him have that moment. Let him own that.
Hey, as long as we ain't out there looking like the Australian chick that was doing the damn the dance shit over there.
No, that would only happen if we put you on the field.
Oh no, that wasn't. Hey, that's you. Hey, we know you got 2 left knees and three left feet. We know we can dance over.
I got 2 feet, not 3.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Now you got 3 left knees. They both go the same way.
Hey, so all I'm going to point out to you, Jacob, is honestly, in this situation, I got to agree with Pat.
Of course you do.
Roger Goodell, and the IFAF president were hanging out at the Olympics this past week and chopping it up. So this is what's going to happen, Jacob. I know Roger Goodell is going to call up George and Pat Alley, and he's going to say, "Look, this is who I need on my roster. I'm going to send you 20 NFL players, and we're going to make this happen. We're going to put all the NFL money behind advertising, behind equipment, behind facilities, everything you guys need. We're going to up it even more." And the Olympic players that complain about not being able to pay their rent, you're not going to have to hear that with the NFL players, because the same situation that happened with the NBA is LeBron saw that the USA team was not going to win it this year, and he called up somebody and said, "I want on the team." He didn't have to try out. He didn't have to do anything. So if it's Mahomes or it's Burrows or it's the Manning kid that's about to come into the NFL, they're going to be able to do the same thing and say, "We want on this." Whether it's 2027, 2026, whenever they decide that they're going to start to focus on flag, I think they could do it the spring of 2028 and say, "All right, we're going to turn our direction. We want the spots." And with all that extra money and all that push, the NFL is going to take over. Just my opinion.
I mean, I get it, but I don't agree. I don't think that's what's going to happen. It doesn't make sense because again, it's all it's going to take. It's going to take one person. Pat, turn your fire alarm off.
That ain't mine.
That ain't mine either.
I don't know.
But
you lost your train of thought.
Okay.
Pat, what do you got to say?
Well,
I got it. All right. To my point, you're gonna have who will take what's his name? Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins wanted to go play for the Canadian team. Steve Kerr, his coach, who ironically enough is the U.S. national coach, told him, "No, I don't think your health is good enough to go play." Andrew Wiggins said, "I'm fine. I want to go play." He said, "No." Are you going to start having that with NFL coaches pulling the plug or pulling players when, they've committed to the team? And then you're going to have to add less and less talent players?
Andrew Wiggins ain't got a leg to stand on. How many times has he been traded? So this is a bad conversation, a bad challenge. Again, now if you would have been like, as far as Klay Thompson or somebody like that.
But that didn't happen with him.
I'm just saying. But at the same time,
this is also a different sport. This isn't football. Yeah, some of the fundamentals are still the same, but a lot of it's different. It's not. You're not just going one for one.
But you tried to compare baseball.
Yeah, you can't compare basketball with football.
With players, I'm not saying they have to learn a whole new game. They're not having with baseball. It's the same game.
Jacob, they've been playing the same game at the highest level their whole life. You know how many players been playing flag football their whole life? It just all of a sudden they were just better in tackle and went to the college and got drafted.
None.
Yes.
No. Stop.
Yes.
They didn't. You don't see people playing flag for 10 years and all of a sudden go, "Oh, wait a minute, I can hit somebody. I'm better at that." That doesn't.
No, that's because they have a scholarship. But you have kids that play flag football right now
to play the trombone. No.
Right now you have Cam Newton with a league going on right now with kids out there, whether it's the A7 or whatever the hell you want to call it.
7-on-7. Where does that stem from? That stems from tackle football.
For flag,
it does not stem from
there's nobody being tackled. They have to be two-hand touch. If you can't touch me with your hands, you can't pull my flag. Put them out there. Hey, put them out there. Hey, put them out there.
We're talking about table tennis now. If this is what we're gonna do.
How about football?
How about my man who came down from the bottom from the ground, scooped up the ball, had it bounce on the other side, and then made the guy lose? If we're going to talk about other things, are we going to stay on? You're talking about 7-on-7 touch.
Hey, Jacob, you
how about
started
this?
it. Your
How
whole
about
You
argument was
started it
about
wrong.
baseball.
You're supposed to be a moderator.
hey, how about this? And this is my push to the guys in the NFL and the flag football. How about they put their best 12 out there? The flag guys put their best 12 out there. They play. Whoever wins, go to the Olympics, just like they do to go to qualify. It's the same thing. Go out
I
there,
mean,
try against each other, play against each other. Hey, the NFL guys that want to try out for the flag football team in the Olympics, play against the U.S. national team. Whoever wins represents the U.S. Problem
cool.
solved.
I know where my money's at. I'll take your money any day, Pat.
Oh, I already put my money twice on the USA team, but I might be
Don't back
crazy,
out
but I ain't
now.
stupid.
No, don't
Hey,
back down now.
hey, I ain't crazy, but I ain't stupid. I'm just talking about the represent. I'm talking about 1-to-1 team against team. Yeah, of course I'm gonna go with the flag guys, but going against another
Here we
country
go.
for to go ahead and
On my side.
to get the national to be able to get that national recognition to play in Germany, play in France, play in all these other locations to build a team like Roger Goodell plan he might want to do. I mean, how many NFL teams we got in Canada? Zero. How many teams we got in Mexico? Zero. So if he's able to establish that connection going down the road, we might have an expansion team, might have 38 teams instead of 32. We don't know what's gonna happen. So it's all about looking at the NFL when you're looking at a different perspective when it comes into the financial and expanding, just like how USA Flags went to Tampa, expanded. You know what I'm saying? So made a better venue. That's all for
So you're
everybody else.
saying we're going to have 32 NFL tackle franchises and 6 international flag franchises?
No, I'm saying no. What you can actually
I know what
do,
you're saying.
yeah. But what you can actually do, you can start promoting. Even if that might not be a bad idea. You can actually promote NFL flag in other countries. So when it comes to the next nationals, hey, we don't know who we're gonna get. But that's just my point on
Hey,
it.
hey, so the only thing I got to bring up is the Mexico national team elevated themselves to be very comparative to the U.S. national team this past year in Charlotte. They only lost by a score, and a big part of that was because they brought professional players, tackle players from the Mexico league out there onto the flag league. Their receivers, their quarterback, they all came from tackle, and that's what elevated Mexico to be that close to almost beating the U.S. So I think the groundwork's already there for something like that to happen. There's 4 years now. I think Jacob, Pat, I think you guys both brought it up. Is the fact that the national team that we see right now, in 4 years, even that could look completely different.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
Completely
you
agree.
know, I mean, if we look at the women's team looks completely different from what it did a few
4
years ago.
years.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
You
absolutely.
know,
4 years ago, it was
so
11 different players. A
yeah,
and B is the
so
only constant so far.
yeah, so a lot of things can change. So I think that was a good one, Jacob. You're up next. You're gonna go first. Okay, so we're gonna keep it on the Olympics, but I want to talk about something we touched on last week. All right, in every sport, you got the symbol. Everybody understands this. Soccer, handball, table tennis, everything has instant replay. Even wrestling has instant replay. You can challenge the last 10 seconds of a wrestling match. Well, Jacob, flag football is going to the Olympics. So is it going to have instant replay? Is it? Do you want it to have instant replay?
Okay, from a fundamental level, I hate instant replay for the fact of what we have with flag football. I don't think it's a good idea. However, I think for the Olympics, for any major televised event, which it will absolutely be on television if archery and ping. I keep coming back to ping pong. I know, but if the and
Table tennis,
breaking
sir.
and table, you know what? I played ping pong growing up. It's never not going to be ping pong, all right? But with those sports, if those are being televised and analyzed the way they are, you have to have instant replay. It's the only way to make it fair and make it consistent. Make sure you get it right, because at the end of the day, when as officials, I feel like our goal is to make sure that we get everything right and do the best that we can. I think everybody agrees with that. So I think you have to have instant replay. If you don't, then it doesn't make sense. Again, I go back to Canton, a couple weeks ago when they were televised with the NFL youth. A kid on the 3-yard line, they called him out. He was a foot in. Referee called him out. On national TV, they replayed it about 7 times, all to say that the call stood and they couldn't change it because there was no instant replay. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to the players. I don't think that's fair to the officials either, who are working, those games. So that's my point.
So, Pat, before you start, Jacob, I just want to ask this. If you're saying that instant replay needs to be in the Olympics because it is televised, what does it look like? Is it any call? Is it any play? What's the regulation that you think makes the most sense for flag football?
So for me, simply put, I think we go with what the NFL has installed already. I think their structure is pretty good. This is where each team gets 2 challenges. If there any scoring plays need to be reviewed, with a quick booth review, like they do that without even stopping the game usually. But those things can be challenged and under a minute because IFAF runs a 2-minute stop, right?
2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you're going to run a 2-minute stop during that time, it comes from the officials only. Otherwise, it's everything else is fair game. I think you stick with that structure. I think that would, fortunately, those games are not on such a hard time block or anything like that. They can run throughout without any issues, and if they get held up a little bit, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I think that's what makes the most sense.
All right, Pat, what do you think?
Well, I hate to be the devil's advocate on this one, but I love to be the devil's advocate.
No, you don't.
Because we watched the Pro Bowl the last 2 years. I ain't seen one damn instant replay at all. And it was a nationally televised game. And they had a nice crew, which means even if they did get it wrong, those guys or ladies they was in the right places to make the correct calls. So coming from a perspective, I say the reason why I say we don't need to have an instant replay, just like when it comes to these players, why not have as far as they can with officials? And it's a point system. Have it live and have it going. And as you jack up or you mess up, you lose points. And the person with the most points in that crew, as those crews go, make it to the Olympics, which means you'll have these possibilities of needing a replay, which is going to take time from the game. That's my personal perspective of the game as far as coming from an official. So if your mechanics is jacked up, I mean, you're working on your craft. If you need glasses, this is time to fix it. I mean, get in the right position to make the correct call. Not saying everyone, I mean, it's a non-contact sport. Who can't see a person feet out of bounds? Who can't see a person stripping the ball? Who can't see contact? There's nobody holding no one. So why do you need instant replay? To see if they caught the ball? Maybe if you're in the right position, you'll see if they caught the ball. I mean, it's not like they can strip the ball out of their hand, right? Jacob, there's no stripping. There's no punching the ball out. There's none of that. So why do you need instant replay? It's not tackle football. So instant replay will be a waste of time. It's all it's going to do is give somebody 30 seconds of fame, waste of damn time in the Olympics. We know what your mug look like. We see you all the time. You just don't have on a helmet. That's it. Or regardless, are you playing? We don't have instant replay where we at now. We preach, especially from our director in Camel City. He always preached mechanics, being in the right position, communication, what to watch for. We don't have instant replay. So we do what we need to do to be in the right position to make the correct calls. That's it. Yeah, they're going to bitch. Yeah, they're going to gripe. Yeah, they're going to complain. But that's what they do. But one thing you can't get wrong is the rights and the wrongs, the black and the white. If they're out of bounds, you see they footstep out of bounds, they footsteps out of bounds. If you see them punch the ball in their hands, it's a strip. There's no stripping. Granted, you got the opportunity to go for the ball, but you can't go through the body, right? As far as in the I-5 rules, right? You can't make any contact. So why do we need instant replay? It's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of camera time. Hey, and that's just my opinion on it. That's it. That's all. When we see instant replay in the Pro Bowl, then I might agree with you, Jacob. But right now, I haven't seen one instant replay in the Pro Bowl, even though it's for fun, even though it's they get $50,000 for winning, $25,000 for losing, and whatever they get. But guess what? They get paid to do it. They go into the Olympics. All they're doing is getting a medal if they win. That's all.
Okay, so first of all, oh man, I've been waiting for this. Okay, so number one, let me go ahead and correct the very last thing, and I'll work my way through. First of all, in the Olympics, they get $36,000, $35,000. They get $30,000 at least if they win in the United States. It's not a lot of money. It's not like some of these other countries that pay billions to their athletes because they know they're not going to win. But you do win some money. Now, you said about 4 times because you kept talking in circles about the fact
I want you to hear me.
I heard you. Don't worry. You talked about the Pro Bowl and how these guys didn't need instant replay in the Pro Bowl. They didn't need instant replay in the Pro Bowl because nobody ran faster than a jog. They didn't do anything that was controversial. I mean, Peyton Manning thought everything was controversial, but that's because he was supposed to be animated. Those guys, you didn't need instant replay in that situation. Those games didn't, for lack of a better term, that game didn't actually matter. Those guys don't care about $25,000. They don't care about the price difference. For games that do matter, if you're playing for an Olympic medal, if you're playing for things like that, things where it does matter. Look, in regular season games, they have instant replay. In the playoffs, they have instant replay. Now, I'll say this. If you can't have to make sure everybody understands what I'm saying, if you can't have a consistent camera crew with the consistent and correct angles like of a professional caliber, you don't need to have instant replay. There's no reason for it. There's no sense in it. You can't cover every angle like you need to. And even when you can cover every angle, you still miss stuff. You don't need to even consider instant replay. That's why we don't do it in flag at the amateur level. So that's that. I don't think it's okay for that at all. But at this level where we're dealing with, we call them amateur athletes because they're Olympians and they're supposed to be, but we are dealing with professional athletes. You do need to have instant replay because there's going to be a ton of controversy. Even the best officials miss stuff. You talked about it on the very first episode, Pat. You had to have damn bug eyes just to see everything. You're telling me. So in that I'm not done. In this Pro Bowl crew, they have 7 officials on the field. On a small IFAF field, you're going to have 4 most. I don't see them going any higher than that. You're not going to have more officials than that.
I guarantee they have 6.
No way they have 6. You're out of your mind. Where are you going to put everybody?
I guarantee you have a referee. You have 2 lines
from the upper
no,
deck.
you're going to have a headline. You're going to have a short wing. You're going to have 2 deep wings and a back judge. I'll bet.
No, man.
But it's amount of money.
Than players. No, you're out of your mind.
Hey, they're going to cover all their back.
I'll make a bet. It's going to stay 4 years with you. I'll buy you a box of your cigars if they have more than 5 officials on the field.
All right. Let's do it.
Witness.
Hey, we got to record. We have it recorded.
It's recorded. We'll come back 4 years from now. I'll talk about you having damn bug eyes.
They're going to cover both sidelines from deep, short, behind watching the quarterback, and the back judge.
You're out of your mind.
It's a deep wing. They're going to have 2 deep wings on each side.
If you have that many officials, you're going to have a penalty every play. It's not going to be worth playing it. It doesn't make sense. It has to be a balance. 4 officials makes sense. It's going to give you enough balance to make it where it's going to be playable, but you're still going to be able to cover a fair amount of the field. Like you're not going to miss things.
I mean, but it's not going to be like how. But Jacob, it's not going to be like how we have. We're not going to have people on the sideline on our necks as far as on the side of the ball. They're going to have their 2-yard line distance as far as on the sideline. They're going to be able to run up and down the field, and they're going to be able to do what they need to do to see what they need to do. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, I mean, if they have 5, hey, you're right. But I'm betting with 6 by the time we get to there.
No,
but I don't know why they would have.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because, did you have a perfectly clear sideline every time you ref the Continental Cup last year?
Most of the time, yeah.
No. It's a all or nothing. You always have a perfectly clear sideline.
Closer to all than nothing.
Okay, that's not yes. You did not say 100% of the time.
All right, I will say when it did happen where the sideline wasn't cleared, the coach would get flagged. There would be an unsportsmanlike thrown on him. Because there in IFAF there is a box that they have to stay in. So I mean it's pretty cut and dry. So
and there should be for every field. just to prevent people from vantage points being skewed. You know, if you have to run into the field to see something, it should be absolutely be a penalty. You have people in your way. It's impeding the game.
Yeah, I mean this was a tough argument because we don't have a lot of people are going to talk about instant replays, but that's because they want their cousin that records their games to be able to come over and show a director a video. That's what people are talking about with instant replays. Right. What we're talking about is something that we have not seen yet, you know? And so what will that look like? We don't even know the size of the crew. Now, Pat, you brought up the Pro Bowl. That, Jacob, I got to agree with you. That can't be comparable because that is not the Filipino gymnast that won gold and gets colonoscopies for the rest of his life. He got sumo for the rest of his life, or sushi for the rest of his life. He got a condo. He got a mansion. The countries that are going to the Olympics, they're not playing for $25,000. Not only are they playing for gold, but they're playing to be set for the rest of their life. If the Cayman Islands brings a team, and they won a medal, they're getting the island. They're set. they are walking on
island boys.
they're walking on a red carpet the rest of their days. I mean, it is so different. You know, it's just not something that we can compare to. And yeah, we could talk about the sidelines and how big the crews are and all this stuff, but we just have no comparison yet. I mean, Jacob, to bring up your point, in IFAF that I experienced, we never had more than 4 on a crew. There was a big jumbotron. The games were being televised all around the world. There were people that were, Pat, like you brought up, there were people that were keeping track of the penalties that we threw. We got analytics on that. You know, there are starting to be things that are put in place. But, I mean, in Finland, I mean, are they going to play in a stadium? Is it, what is it going to look like? Are the players and the coaches really going to be, completely back? I mean, look at how it is with soccer. They have to be sitting down. They can't, they can get up a little bit, but they are nowhere near that sideline. And, but how many officials are on, World Cup soccer or Olympic soccer game? 3, right?
Is it 3?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think
judges and the referee.
And the main one. Now those guys got to hustle. That's a big field to cover. But they still have the opportunity for this. That still happens. So I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting argument. You guys have any other thoughts you want to add to this?
Nah, I'm good on that one. I want to be
all right. Cool. We'll see in 4 years who gets the box of cigars. That's what I want to see.
Hey, I'll buy it with a smile on my face and love in my heart, man.
Oh, that was really sweet, Jacob. That was really nice of you.
If he's right.
If he's right. All right. So who went first on that? Jacob, you went first on the last one, right?
Yeah.
All right, Pat. All right, here we go. This is something that I love to talk about because I love to upset the dinosaurs that play 8s contact. But Pat, I want to hear what you have to say. Should 7s and 8s be eliminated?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. No. Reason why, you give the individuals that don't get an opportunity to play, that's not able to play in small ball, opportunity to play like linemen. Granted, we got 6 man. We got 6s that linemen is eligible and all those different things. But it's a developing sport for the women, in my opinion, and that's only because I see it from the women perspective, not the men. The men been playing it forever. Some women been playing it forever. But 7s, I would say keep that in the high school. I mean, I would keep that in the high school so kids can be able to play and don't get injured and all the different things, can play traveling. But as far as 8s, I wouldn't get rid of 8s. I mean, it's a costly format. It's dominated by one organization because, they feel things don't need to change and they want to stay that way. But when you look at the numbers of teams that they do have that do play over in an organization, they do max out on all their numbers for 15 to 16 teams. And and from rec to comp to pro, from well, what they would call it, A, B, and C or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they do maximize on their teams and their numbers. It's just as far as in our organization, I would say in our organization, for USA Flag, yeah, because they're not going to come over there because they don't want to deal with the change. So for USA Flag football, sevens and eights, yes, I would recommend, honestly, I would nix it as far as unless everyone starts merging to the new change of the smaller field with the pop flags, which I've been preaching about for the last 2 years about going to pop flags because triple threats are old and they're raggedy and they can cause injuries when you pull the flag, hit someone in the face with the belt. So that's why I look at it when it comes to the eights. But other than that, man, that's all I can really say about getting rid of when it says the dinosaur, as you would say, of the sport, because it's hard to get 30 players or 20 players to be able to play. So
All right, Jacob, what do you got?
All right, so I never want to tell people what they can and can't play, but my gosh, can we get rid of the formats that take forever? They're slow, they're boring. You you talked about having a place for more players to play. You know what you could do? For more teams. Instead of having spots where you're hiding players. You know, if we go out, we go on an 8-man field. You can hide me somewhere, and I can have 6 guys who are great behind me and one other person who sucks beside me. You know, you can hide. It's not necessary. Again, you come back to the flags. With the traditional format. The flags are from Fisher Price. It looks terrible. It just doesn't make sense. From a traditional standpoint, okay, you're going to keep it, whatever. Sevens, it's the same thing. If you want to keep it, whatever. But there's no reason to have it. When you look to the future, what's the future going to? It's going to fives. That's why you see so many of these teams playing just fives. You look at the overnight numbers; they've skyrocketed. Kids excel more when they're playing fives. They're able to catch the ball, make a person miss, and score a touchdown. There's more benefit to it in my mind. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to tell anybody what they can and can't play or what we should do. This is just my opinion. It makes more sense. Keep the smaller formats. You can get more games in. You can gel better with people. You're not trying to gel with 30 people. You're trying to gel with 10. It just make it make sense.
But my point on that, if we do, as far as get rid of the eights or the sevens, are we going to increase the amount of teams that we're going to have? I mean, because as of right now, it's only 16 teams and fives that can play up to, what we're going
What?
to do.
Only 16 teams? What are you talking about?
It's only 16 teams that can play in what pro, comp, and rec, right? Or
Well, of
are we
course
going to
you
increase
increase
the numbers?
if you have the space, why wouldn't you increase the numbers? If you
Okay,
have the
because
space, if you have the time, if you have the teams, of course, you accommodate for who you have. Show love to those who love you.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I'm just saying
I'm
it's
not, and
for
that's
so the
not saying
world couldn't
anything
hear. Yeah,
right. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody at all. But if your teams are there and they're supporting you in that style or in a style, support them. If you have teams if you offer a style where teams are not supporting you, this goes all the way back to fours, fives, sixes, set any of them. If they're not supporting you in that style, why would you continue to offer that style? Obviously, it's not what they want. What you're offering is not what they're asking for. So give them something that they are asking for.
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I think about Nationals when it was in Chicago. There were two full fields that had to be dedicated to eights, and they took up all 3 days playing on those two fields. That would have been six more small ball fields that could have been turned around and more. Yeah, more eight more,
Eight fields.
So eight more fields. So that would have given that more. When we have situations where tournaments they got to max out, and there's got to be a waiting list and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, Jacob, I think you're absolutely right. That kind of stuff gets taken away, and more teams get a play, and then. I mean that's what's brought on all the new divisions, novice and amateur and elite and all that stuff because they got too big. I played in the rec division when there was 120 teams in the rec division for Tampa. Like it was
Mm.
crazy. But all right, Pat, I know you got to jump off. Me and Jacob are going to get into rules a little bit. I appreciate both of you guys doing this tonight. I think you guys both brought up good points. Pat, you get to work on what you got to do, and we'll see you soon.
Go
I
be great,
appreciate
bro.
y'all, man.
Appreciate you.
I,
It was fun,
yeah.
bro.
All
All
right.
right, later. Cool. So Jacob, any thoughts now that Pat's gone that you want to share about any of the topics that we brought up?
Man, to be honest with you, I think we covered everything. At the end of the day, just to brush on each topic, location. At the end of the day, location doesn't matter as long as you have the teams and the quality officials and the quality spot. I mean, of course, you do have to have a good location to make it work, but that you have to have the teams. At the end of the day, you can make anything work with quality teams, quality officials, quality directors. You make things work that way. I don't think it matters where you're at. As far as the Olympics goes, I know what the reality is. You're going to have a good portion of the NFL brought in, but I still do think the right thing to do would be to have flag players. You're going to be most successful that way immediately. But as far as sevens, eights, at the end of the day, if the formats stay alive and people want to play them, have them. I don't care. I'm arguing for the sake of arguing with Pat. What was the last name for what I missed?
No, I think that was everything. Yeah, I think
Okay.
we. Oh, instant replay was
Oh,
the other one.
instant replay. Yeah, I hate instant replay. It's the worst. But I understand it. It makes
Yeah,
sense to have on such a large scale. You got to look at it from a
yeah,
10,000-foot view. You can't look at it from the 5-foot view like we're used to with running regular tournaments.
yeah. No, for sure.
So
And I've been a part. I know I've shared it in other episodes. I've been a part of instant replay in amateur flag football, and it is the absolute worst. And it's
yep,
it's not it's not fun to be a part of. It
yep,
just it when you're trying to get off of a field or get games done by a certain period of time, and you throw instant replay in there, the guy that is 43 years old and this is everything to him. He wants instant replay on every single call that doesn't go his way.
well,
You know,
makes perfect sense.
yeah, and just like I said about whether it's instant replay or talking about which players are going to be on the national team. I think it's great topics for us to continue to talk about over the next 4 years. I hope
Absolutely.
that people can. I hope that people can take it lightly and not get their feelings hurt. Uh, Flag players are doing it right now. They're at the bed. They're traveling to Finland. Like they're doing what people never thought possible. Right?
Absolutely.
There's opportunities available, but we have to understand the reality of how sports work at a professional level, and that's what we're entering into in this. I mean, it was clear cut. What happened with the U.S. when they lost with college? And when was it the 80s? Immediately, their first response was, "We need the NBA players in here because we're not going to
Yep.
lose to the Soviet Union." Now,
Yep.
I know the Soviet Union isn't around anymore, and things are a little bit different, but you see that competition with China, who has the most gold medals, and that it's huge. And the United States puts a lot of money into the Olympics, and
Yep.
so it's going to be the same situation. Maybe they will get the first Olympics. Maybe flag players will, but if they don't win gold, it's going to be a real quick change.
Absolutely. I
So
mean, you see it's not letdown, but I mean, it was taken as a letdown that we tied for the most gold medals with China. You know, people didn't look at it like they didn't look at the total count and say, "Wow, we blew everybody out of the water." They said, "Wow, we tied with China. We
yeah,
didn't finish first." Um, and people start going back and saying, "What could we have won instead that we didn't win? That would have placed us, above them." It's because that matters. And I guarantee you, the Olympic committees are going back and they're looking at things. They're looking at those silver medals, bronze medals, people who didn't place. They're looking at how do we fix this? How do we adjust? Even the gold medalists, they're still looking every year. They're reevaluating. So to your point, you're absolutely right. if they go with the flag players first, and if there's any sort of doubt, there's going to be a big, reevaluation that happens quickly to rectify it and make it better. And it probably would lead to NFL players coming in.
Yeah, no, for sure. So finally, there are two rules. I know I only mentioned one to you off air, but two rules I want to talk about. So first and foremost, I think this just keeps coming up, Jacob. So I want you to just kind of set the record straight about what illegal stripping looks like. I think people are still very confused about what possession and how it has to work, but can you just review illegal stripping for us?
Okay. Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that happens is what people miss is they try to say, well, I was trying to play the ball. I was going for the ball. And we were both at the same time. It was bang, bang. What we're looking for, ball in hand, we're looking for some time to elapse. We're not necessarily looking for a foot down. We're not looking for that true possession. We're looking for the person to have the ball in their hands, stop the ball, no movement with it, and then somebody's follow through to come and knock the ball out of their hands. That's what we're looking for. Anytime the ball is knocked out of the player's hands, that's what we're calling it stripping. If both players are going for the ball and it's too close to call, and you think both of them got there at the same time or pretty close to the same time, then it's completely a judgment call, whether an official decides to call it or not. And I back whatever they decide, as should any other director or anybody else. It's one of those where it should be pretty clear cut, whether or not the person had the ball and then someone came and knocked it out. That's what we're looking for, essentially.
Yeah, definitely not a 50-50 ball situation.
Not at all. Not at all. If both of you are going for the ball, if both of you get to the ball at the same time or pretty damn close, I wouldn't call it. I would let the players play, let them control the outcome as far as that goes. What you don't want to get ticky-tacky, and the second you don't want bang bang and it get called. What you want is that person to have the ball, be making their way down, or from jumping up and catching it or something like that, coming down with it, making sure that ball has stopped and some time has elapsed. But yeah, there can't be a catch and then a clear punch out.
Yeah. I mean, and just from my experience, I will say being in a two-man crew, it's almost impossible to be able to make that call because
Absolutely.
It has to be so clear cut. It can't,
Yep.
So if I'm on the line of scrimmage and I'm watching the quarterback and my eyes come down last and it's a play that happens on my side of the field, if I don't see the DB, with a fist in the air punching it, I can't make that call. Now,
Absolutely.
3 or 4 man crew, it's going to be a little easier to make,
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's a situation where it's got to be clear cut. I just continue to hear on social media and stuff talking about possession, that it's got to be possessed completely. They got to get their foot down, and then if contact with the ball happens, and I think that's where confusion is happening with it.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
no, I agree. And nowhere in our rules does it say you have to like that. So
cool. So the second thing, I know that this is something that comes up. We talk a lot about stop clock mechanics, and Lance does a really good job of explaining on the ready and on the whistle and those situations. So I just want to bring up a situation specifically about when a team scores a touchdown, they get their PAT, hurry up offense. They want to get on the field. They want to either get that illegal participation because there's 6 players on defense, or, they just want to be able to catch the defense slipping and score an easy touchdown. Can you just break that situation down for me?
I sure can. What I'm going to do real quick is I wanted to make sure this is where we were going. So in our rule book, we have it listed. One of the first things we have, where are we at? We're under Rule 10, officiating. We're in Section 3, I believe. Nope, I apologize. We are in Section 4, mechanics of officiating, where we talk about, where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Sorry, guys. I usually try to have this. Nope. God, I stink at this. We're in Section 5.
Hey, I put you on the spot. I
Yeah,
know it
it's
was
all
a
good.
situation we were talking about.
It was definitely a situation we were talking about. So
Hey, well,
section
you're
five.
looking. Let me just explain this
Go ahead.
to my friends in Southern California. Okay, I know I studied the rule book of Tufts and Air Raid and things like that. You guys love this sixes format that's specific to Southern California. And there's a situation. This situation happens. They do not allow a hurry up offense to happen because there is a runoff that happens. So whether it's 15 seconds or 20 seconds, literally the offense cannot even snap the ball until the official has set their rush line and they have counted the 15 seconds down and then they blow the whistle and that's when the play clock starts. So I think that causes confusion. I know in any situation, not just to pick on Southern California, there are local rules. You know, it's just like Chun is always going to bring up their crazy, like you can lose a game if you have one player in the wrong jersey or something like that. Like that, there's every region has different rules that change things up, and they go to a national format and a USA flag tournament and they're like, well, wait a minute, this is, I want to challenge this, and they're going to lose that challenge because they didn't go back and study the rule book. So, did you find it in the rules?
Yeah, I found it.
All right,
So it's
cool.
not section 5. Had to go a little bit further. So it's in section 8. It's under pace of play. All right. So I'm gonna all 4 articles kind of cover this whole situation in my mind. Article 1: officials will hustle but not hurry. They must control the game and not let an anxious team set the pace. Please keep a consistent and brisk pace throughout the game to ensure teams get the maximum amount of playing time possible. So your officials should be hustling constantly, but we're not going to hurry them along. Okay. Article 2: if a snap occurs before the officials are ready, the ready to play whistle or announcement, the ball will be blown dead and the quarterback issued a warning for the first offense. For the second offense, a delay of game penalty will be earned. So if a hurry up offense runs out there, this is like we were talking about. This is our USA flag rules. If a hurry up offense runs out there, tries to snap the ball, and the officials aren't set, we're not letting that roll. If the line judge is set and the rush judge is not at 7 yards, if we're playing non-contact, we're blowing it dead. They're not going to continue on. We're going to make sure we have our people in place. That's the first and foremost because we want to give a fair game. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing for everybody. So, like I said, it goes back to Article 1. We're hustling. We're doing our best to get in position in a timely manner because we want to make sure you guys are getting the most for your bang for your buck. But that's a North Carolina phrase. We but we want to make sure that we're also not doing things in such a fast pace that we're missing things, not doing the right things, putting ourselves in risk of injury. Because we can say, oh yeah, it's just jogging up and down the sideline. Officials are out there for 20 plus games a day on average. That quick little jog you're talking about, that adds up over time. You do that, 20 times, that's a lot of time on your feet. So we want to make sure we're doing the right thing. We're hustling, but we're not going over the top. Number 3, this is where it's going to get kind of controversial. Officials may stop the clock as they see fit in order to administer a fair, controlled contest. That doesn't mean they need to stop the clock for every argument, every disagreement, everything like that. That means if something wild happens, somebody gets hurt, something happens like that, a director has to come on the field for a clarification, something like that, in a situation where it requires and demands the clock stops. That's what that's in there for. That's not there to cover you if you argue or want to discuss every ruling judgment call. That's there for legitimate reasons. Article 4: offensive teams may not take advantage of a defensive substitution to run quick snap plays to catch the defensive teams not ready. However, offense does not have to wait for defense if officials are set and ready to play has occurred. That kind of goes back to what we talked about with Article 2, where a team can't just run out there, snap the ball, and nobody's set, no officials are ready. That's saying if the officials are ready, the offense is ready, the ready for play whistle's been blown, we're not waiting. We're going to go ahead and run the play. We're not gonna hang up. We're not gonna wait for the defense to come on out and get done celebrating if they're on the extra point. It's time to get set. It's time to play. If officials are hustling, if the offense is hustling, the defense needs to be hustling as well. That's 2/3 of the group that's hustling. There's no reason for one to reward somebody on the 1/3.
Yeah,
So
and for me, the way I like to do it is during the coin toss. I like to talk to the captains, and one of the things that I will bring up is, hey guys, just realize it. We're on my whistle. That first play of the drive, we're on my whistle. Okay. Then when the first offense comes out, I say QB on this first play of the drive, you're on my whistle. Okay. After that, I'm hustling, and you got it. You're looking to me. You're looking to me. And then when the other offense comes out, I say the same thing. I just want them to understand that we're on my whistle. We're on my whistle. I do think that helps. I do think that they listen. I honestly think that that's maybe kind of an old school thing that, some of the older teams would try to run something really quick. There are a handful of teams that still try to pull it off. They're going to try to catch an inexperienced ref and, are we good, ref? Are we good? And they'll try to run something, and okay. I don't know if it's gonna go back out. It's been recording, but something something happened. So anyway, we'll wrap it up for tonight, Jacob. Thank you so much uh, for being a part of the 30th episode. We are moving right along in this show. So can you hear
yeah,
me?
yeah, man, I can hear you, no doubt, man.
Okay, cool.
Hey, let me. Nah, you're good. Life happens. Hey, but congratulations again. This is the 30th episode for you, man. You've been doing so great with this thing. Couldn't be more proud of where you've taken this podcast. You've had a lot of great people come on the show. You've gotten a lot of great opinions. I can't wait to see what the next 30 looks like. And I just the sky's the limit. So keep trucking, bro. You've been doing great. And I hope everybody appreciates it. You also hit 1,000 follows on IG this weekend. So that's another big, hat tip to you, man. You've been killing it, bro.
Yeah, people better watch out. I might start jumping on live on Instagram, doing some crazy stuff, But hey, I appreciate you saying all that, and I appreciate you being a part of this. And thanks to you, that the amazing logo we got with Jordan's angry face on it, and just all the guests that have been a part of it. I definitely want to get more officials involved. I want to get former players. I want directors. Reach out to us, but don't just say you want to be on the show. Tell us what you got to offer. If you want to have a debate with somebody like Pat and Jacob just did, just realize
I'm going to throw some zingers in there. And so, you know, as Jacob has learned, I like to throw people under the bus. So
That's why I'm wearing a hoodie.
but
Nice
anyway,
and cold
just
over the bus.
continue to find us on everywhere that podcasts are available. We are on every platform. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, Threads, Facebook. We are everywhere, and I'm so appreciative of everyone. Sorry for the internet connection, whatever was going on, but hey, we had to do something weird this episode, right? So anyway, Jacob, I appreciate you, and you have a good night.
Hey, you too, bro. Be good.
All right.